So I'm back for another review of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Signed, sealed, divorced. I'm yours. All right, shout out to Stevie Wonder. Season 9, Episode 3. If you're watching this, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. Thank you if you're just watching the video. All right, let's get some things out the way. Stormy quit. We don't give a fuck. We don't care, is what I meant to say. Carlos King has blurred the lines for too long. The fact that he has like a YouTube page where he talks about the show and had one with Messy Heavenly and stuff, like all of that to me is, it's giving blur the lines. I would say it's a lot like Andy Cohen, but Andy Cohen is a fake face for Bravo. He is not in charge of those shows the way he tries to make everybody think he is, and the way people are paid to pretend like he is. Okay, so let's address that. Anyway, so we get the finale dinner. I said, well, damn, I thought last week's dinner was the finale dinner. This is the longest trip I have ever seen on any reality TV show, or any reality TV show that I've actually watched through it. Okay, anyway. So y'all must have been reaching for a plot, because I have no idea why this trip went on so long. Mel started to ask Sonny and Lauren to switch seats. She said really to keep Destiny from being uncomfortable around Sonny, because she could tell. And she didn't originally assign seats, which apparently was a thing on this ship. I said ship. Well, I guess it's kind of like a ship, but on this trip. So Mel was like, she hopes the trip will continue with, in the sense of the spirit of the girls back in Huntsville, but we already know that's not going to happen. This has been Kimmy's first girls trip ever. I don't care. Okay, I don't care. And as far as I'm concerned, don't come on the next one, Kimmy, because you didn't give us anything. The only thing you gave us is when you was crying and whining over that basement room. Yeah, don't get me started. Anyway, so Mel asked if Destiny disagreed with Kimmy about this being a good trip, because Kimmy did give her a compliment or whatever, but we know Kimmy's fake at this point. At least it's new to me, because some of y'all have really informed me in the comments. And be sure, to put stuff in the comments if you want to, but just remember not to, disrespect people. Anyway, because Destiny was just kind of sitting there, cold. I would say like Frosty the Snowman, but Frosty the Snowman was friendly. Anyway, so Mel asked if Destiny disagreed with Kimmy, and Destiny says no. And Destiny said in her confessional, it was just a little bit too much ass kissing for me. Mel's so great, Mel's so this. I was like, yeah, because you wish you were that person, but okay. I honestly, though, being real, I can see that. Sometimes it's a little too extra, but since you were on somebody else's dime, you probably could have played along too. I'm just saying. Anyway, so Destiny brought up how it was low, because she had to hear them as Sonny if she had kids. She was really referencing Nell. Had to hear a woman who's now married to her now ex, that wasn't her ex that long ago, talk about that. Nell apologized, whatever. As far as I'm concerned, Nell was drunk as a skunk, and Nell, I don't care how much money she has, there's something about Nell that is still very, very ghetto. Money does, the thing that my mother always told me as a kid, money does not buy class. It doesn't equal, I don't care how much money you make, how there's something about people that still, exactly. Because you and Fletcher come from the same place, and regardless of what he may have done or did or does, he don't give me that vibe. Moving on. I mean, honestly, if Destiny's being real, she did have to say something. I don't think it was her job to sit there and, bottle that all in. So Sonny was like, I think we all need to acknowledge, betrayal or hurt from each other. I was like, Sonny, you do realize who this conversation is about. Destiny said, well, I think it's funny that you used the word betrayal. And I was sitting there like, no, I think she was like, because you never used it before in terms of us being friends. I said, hell, I was going to say the whole comment was a surprise to me, because she is the main one here that betrayed anybody. If I was her, she has taken betrayal to a whole high art, okay? Quit lying about not being Destiny's friend, and therefore it wasn't betrayal, because it also comes off as mean, because you know you played her friend, okay? And that's a really hurtful space to believe somebody's your friend, and even if y'all fall off for a little bit, all of a sudden they with your man. Stop. Just stop, Sonny. I don't like Destiny, but I'm not here for the bullshit because I'm a grown woman enough, regardless of whether I like somebody or not, to see stuff for what it is. And I see it. Okay? Now, Destiny said your words mean nothing because your words say one thing and then you give that energy. Sunny was like, what energy? She said stank. And she was like, was it stank? Mel said, yes, it was. I said, well, Mel, you know what? Mel had them flashbacks to her divorce. She was like, I ain't playing these games. Sunny apologized to Destiny, but it wasn't real. And we all knew it wasn't real. And Nell saying, well, she's apologized to her plenty of times. One time I thought it was real, one time it wasn't. No, she don't like Destiny. She's jealous of Destiny. Okay, I know people can ask a million times, and I'm not going to even entertain it in the comments, well, why would she be jealous? Why is anybody jealous of anybody? A lot of times that stuff is from deep insecurities. I have watched the ID channel so many times, and I remember people who were like detectives and experts say that most murders usually are driven by two things: money and jealousy. I said, God damn. That means money and the possessions are a separate thing than that emotion that drives that. And I am so glad I was raised by a secure mother so that I did not become that kind of person. Anyway, she was jealous. She's jealous of Destiny. She wanted to take something from her, and you took her inarticulate, low-earning man, and it hurt her. So that part you won. But you need to tell her thank you because you lost or quit your producer job for Moses. And if Destiny wasn't on the cast, y'all wouldn't be pulling in this money either, because that's the only reason why this is of an ounce of interest to the rest of us. Don't bring them back, okay? Don't. You can get rid of Kimmy. You can get rid of Sunny. Y'all can bring Shanita on, whether we like her or not. She'd be good for TV. So by the White Roses, I was over this whole trip. I was like, Mel, why are they still taping this? Kimmy in the confessional talking about we still have a way to go. No, y'all don't. Y'all don't like each other, and y'all especially don't like Mel. Every time she accomplishes something, y'all hate her. Y'all are catty and jealous. Y'all don't need to be friends. But Kimmy, and I'm not one of those people who believe because people were kind to you in a bad spot that somehow you owe them forever. But what I do want to say is, Kimmy, even when you and Tisha were having trouble, it was Mel who was trying to make sure you had a party and a community and putting differences aside to support you through breast cancer. And I know anybody that would have done, who is not my family, but did something like that for my mother, just like the people at work did, that means everything to me. So I'm just saying, for you to still kind of be on this tip, it rubs me raw. It really does. So Ken and Trish go grocery shopping or something at the farmer's market, I guess. Anyway, so Ken said he heard about the trip after they done had this little meetup at the little park. Because I guess that's free because it's public to do a scene there. So Ken said he heard about the trip and how there was a lot of drama. I said, this is the first time y'all talking about this? Don't y'all sleep together? Y'all went to the juicers / farmer market to have a discussion. Next time, just lay out in the cornfield. You might as well. You won't even have to buy no juice to talk about that. Anyway, so Trish was mad because Shanita kept saying her situation was similar to Sunny's, and she's throwing stones while in a glass house. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you are. I mean, it's not the same, but it's similar. Okay? Hell, Destiny wasn't even married to Moses. In love with him, sure, but was not married to him. Relax, okay? So, Ken says that there are many married couples who date before they get fully divorced. Then this country tight-lipped, ice cream cone-shaped face bitch called Trisha said, well, Melody did it. I said, bitch, you got your motherfucking nerve. How you know? So you gonna do the same thing Martell is. We're gonna hurry up and accuse Mel of having been with someone, even though there's no proof, there's no pictures, there's no faces, there's no Tasha K interviews. But Martell got all this history, the people on his cast, and probably his real homies, and his cousin who introduced him to the side chick that gets attention, even though there were plenty of chicks. You had the nerve to pull that? And that, Mel is fully divorced, honey, and had a very public one, and had all the reasons to try to keep her family of 6 people together. How dare you? I can't stand that shit. And it's always the chicks who don't do that get the most smoke. So every time there's smoke, it does not mean it's fire. Anyway, you need to worry about yourself. The only thing to say to Mel, Trish, that you should have to say is thank you. Thank you for letting me come on this fucking trip, even though I've talked shit about you and probably slept with your husband while you were still married. Bitch, please. And it's looking like you fucking with Martell because neither one of y'all can get your story straight. So Ken said he's mad because Martell made it look like it was more than it was, and then he said she wasn't as bad as I thought she was. First of all, Ken, if you was any kind of man, you would have checked him then. Even though he writes your girl ain't cute, Martell has a... We all know hoes don't care about stuff like that. Even though he may be right about that, it ain't stopping him from calling Mel a hoe, saying she was one of them when she divorced him and all that other shit like she wasn't his wife. He has a history of lying and disrespecting women, going on the internet, talking about how Marceau is dissatisfied with his wife after she got her stomach, taken out, the fat out of her stomach taken out, whatever you call it. He has a habit of doing this. The fact, I cannot be with a man who does not defend me. Certainly to another man. Because that's what a man is most used for. I can handle a woman. And I'm just sitting up here like, and then he's in a confessional. Ken is talking about, you had the nerve to say you were dedicated to protecting your girl's image. Her image, not the truth. That's why you're getting played on TV, sir. Okay, now I understand keeping stuff between y'all, but Trish lying and having it out there, not telling you everything, wasn't between y'all. And she's the reason for this. We ain't caught you in no pictures, as small as Huntsville is. So, look, it's a fucked up thing to do for y'all to then try to throw the blame out at other people. Trish doesn't really want to marry Ken. She doesn't. I think she appreciates what he brings and provides, but she doesn't want him like that. I don't think she wants him like that. I think he's convenient for her. She'll continue to do whatever she wants to do because Ken will put up with it. And that's sad because a lot of women would love a dedicated man like Ken. But he's in love with Trish. Anyway, Kimmy comes home. So she came home and she's outside sweeping. I said, bitch, that house should have been so fucking clean when you got back. Wouldn't have been nothing to sweep. That's what the fuck he should have done. I don't give a fuck whether he cleaned it or he hired somebody to clean it. That's what he should have done to make sure it was restful to you when you got back. F him. Anyway, so he said in the confessional, I missed you, but I wanted you to go and enjoy your girls' trip. She was like, I don't like girls' trip. I said, well, then you should have stayed your ass at home, Kimmy. You would not have been missed. We didn't need you. And truth be told, your time on this show is no longer needed. And your husband and the rest of those Scots act like full-on females gossiping to make scenes. We don't need you. We don't want you here. I don't know what Carlos King thinks he's going to pull without Melody, but I'm going to tell you right now, I have no interest in seeing it without Melody. I don't. Because I don't like when people get messed over like that. Okay? And they already annoying as hell. So anyway, I just gotta keep it real nice. So he said in the, yeah, whatever, we got that. But I'm sure Maurice had plenty of time with his other chicks. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, he didn't get caught drunk driving like that 11 a.m. to noonish time period. That seems like a strange time to be heading home. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. So Kimmy said the only issue she had was with Nell because of the room shit. I was like, I forgot about that, but whatever, I don't care. I was like, damn, we rehashing this bullshit after like 6 episodes of it? Miss me, okay? I was over it. You were dumb for staying on a trip, sleeping in the basement, Kimmy, if you were unhappy. Y'all shouldn't have invited Destiny. You would have had at least space to lay your clothes out for the next day. And the night before. And if you didn't feel like making up your bed, one of y'all could have jumped in that one knowing it was clean. But that's what y'all get. So she brought up Trisha and how she was glad she got to know her better. Maurice said he heard about her and Martell. And so had Kimmy because They were gossiping. I was like, y'all probably also called each other at night gossiping like some bitches. Anyway, so they said it was nothing. He asked if Kimmy believed it. Why do I have this paperclip doing this? Anyway, asked if Kimmy believed it. She said she doesn't know. Maurice said he thinks Ken loves her more than Trish loves him. Honestly, that might be the first true thing Maurice has said in 3 seasons. All right, Kimmy says he shouldn't speculate that out loud. Then they say they should sit down and have dinner with them to figure it out. Mind your damn business. Okay? Who you think you are? Us watching this show? So anyway, so now that they're done with this long ass trip, okay, apparently we have to continue to hear the Scotts rehash it. Okay, because we know Tisha, her dumb ass, can't carry on no conversation. Macy, their daughter, though, got Marceau together. And you know what? That's the kind of daughter you deserve because of the way you talk to their mama. Okay, and your son has gotten you together, too. Don't worry, the other one's on its way, too. Anyway, Tisha's talking about how Shanita was Mel's bodyguard. Okay, so you were fake on the trip when you just accepted her apology. Marceau tells Tisha, he goes, oh, the tall one? He was like, leave her alone. And she's Mel friend, she won't be there next year. She goes through friends like that. That's true, especially for this show. But I can tell you as someone, okay, who limits friendships and relationships because I've been burned so many times, that's not a read the way you think it is, Marceau and Tisha. It's hard when you've worked hard and accomplished a lot and you just want to have friends to hang with and learn from, or a man you really like, and the next thing you know, they're competing with you and jealous of you for your accomplishments. That is really hurtful. As far as I'm concerned, it's a form of betrayal too. Okay? And for you to find out they're in desperate competition with you or talking shit about you, or they're trying to prove this while hating you for having accomplished it, it is really painful. And so the way I protect myself is not to bring those people in my life. And just because you're an adult doesn't mean it hurts less. That's why it can often hurt more, because you would have hoped people who didn't like you wouldn't be hanging around you anyway, especially if they're not coworkers, because that's different. Y'all got to make a living. And just because you're an adult, like, I mean, it really bothers me when y'all say that shit about her. So some of y'all can't stay around Mel because her success, whether she flaunts it or not, highlights your failures in life, i.e. black. Next. Anyway, Ken and Trisha pull up to talk to her husband about the divorce. Don't that already sound like a mess? Trisha and her fiance pull up to talk to her husband about the official divorce. I said, I can't do this. So Marquez shows up with his bald-headed ass. He said he doesn't know what to think about why we're here. So what you come for? So when a man talks low like that and starts accusation, man, I don't know who's around my kids, it's because he can't take responsibility. Because we've seen Marquez raise his voice. Marquez said that Ken, you know, even before all this, would put down emojis and stuff like that on her social media posts, and there were subliminal messages. He was talking about, I like chocolate. And Trish just started laughing. Honestly, it is kind of funny. And they probably were flirting. But you walked out on your family. So at that point, I ain't got nothing for you. Nothing. Okay? And a man who walked away and then says he should know who is around his daughter can kiss my ass. Let me tell you something, Marquez. Ain't shit in the world, including a court order, can keep a parent from getting to their kid to be around them until the police even come if it's a court order. That's how that works. Remember Dwayne Wade's wife and how she showed up? The only reason why Dwayne Wade's ex-wife even lost custody of her kids is because he was an NBA player with plenty of money. And Gabrielle Union, as far as I'm concerned, is a whack-ass bitch for being with a man who would do that to his ex-wife, making you think, oh, she's crazy. No. There's something wrong with him. And she wasn't lying about how abusive he was after her family took him in. You ungrateful son of a bitch. Anyway, so we know you left her and you were with other people, so miss us with the bullshit. I say people because he gives me by, and not to mention he scooted off to Atlanta of all places. This ain't the 1940s when you could leave your family for 10 years, start another family, and then show back up like nothing happened, and the woman is being asked to simply endure it. It's not those days anymore. She went and found somebody else. Now, Trish said her dad was there his dad was there for the kids, the grandfather, right? Because the grandfather understands responsibility. He can't help it that he tried to raise his son right and he's a bitch. Anyway, you do all you can, and then sometimes kids just don't turn out right. So he's saying, well, I'm not absentee. We've heard that before. He can make these scenes to be on TV, but can't tell you the basic things about their kid's favorite color, what sports they play, where they're going, here, that, and other, unless it's on a social media like tracking, where you can scroll through and say, why were my kids here? Cutting umbilical cords, sir, does not make you a father. People have people's grandparents do that. People's siblings do that for them. What the fuck do you mean? You should have been there if your wife had a baby. What the hell is wrong with you? So he's okay with another man taking care of his responsibilities until he wants some control. Okay? He wants to have his cake and eat it too. This is the thing. You can't have your cake if you eat it and it's gone. That's not how that works. Okay? So, you shouldn't just be knowing if Ken hugs your daughter and what kids are coming and sleeping over at night just now. See, that says to me, that's how I know you're an absentee father. Those are the kind of things you would want to know any goddamn way. A man being around your young daughter who's not you should actually be out of order. You should be all involved in that. I agree. But the only reason why Ken could even make that happen, you see, is because you weren't there. And Marceau was absolutely right when he told you the only thing left for you to say to Ken is thank you. Okay, so anyway, asking these questions a bunch of years later is some bullshit. However, Ken, I do want to say that you are being played by Trish and him. Because you're waiting for Trish. She should have been taking care of this divorce. And you should have only had to come to that dinner as the enforcer in case he got loud, in case he got disrespectful. And you did do that. You did check it. But you were doing the majority of the talking while Trish is still thinking about how she gonna lie to you about what went down with Martell. And you know she slept with Martell. God knows who else she messed around with. So why is Marquez mad that Ken gave his son a car and took them to play basketball together in another country? You failed, Marquez. The only person to be mad at is yourself. If another man was able to even come in and do that, you were completely absent. Okay? Period. Hard stop. Kids get especially possessive when their parents break up. They will say, well, my mommy does it this way, just to remind you that they know that you are not their mother. If my daddy was here, they'll remind you, you have really deserted them, because that's not happening. And for that girl to be at school and say, Ken was her father, was her passive aggressive way in her child development of acknowledging that Ken loves me in a way that her father does not. And matter of fact, psychologically, I can block him out. You made that possible. Don't be mad at Ken. All right? He didn't brainwash them. Okay? They felt loved by him and felt abandoned by you. And so that's the relationship. It's that simple. Ken, you are with a married woman who has not pursued a divorce, sir. And you've dated women before who were married. It seems you go for emotionally unavailable women. And I need you to take care of you and go see Dr. Francis and really investigate that. This coming from someone who goes to therapy every single week, because I need it. Okay? No shame here. And I've gotten better because of it. It may be hard to tell on a Saturday night, but you know what I mean. Anyway. But Ken handled it like a man. But Marquez, you're a whole bitch. And you and Trish are the poster children for why people shouldn't get married so young. Then this punk ass motherfucker, anyway, I tried, says, I brought this paper for us to go ahead and get it out the way. I said, you are such a bitch. You was not signing these papers, and then you gonna try to have a scene where it hits, okay? And said the only way for us to move on is to sign the papers. Isn't that what she said though before? Anyway, after telling her he doesn't have a woman in his life, I was like, that is so manipulative. She apparently was signing the receipt and her papers, I guess, because it seemed like the man came over and asked for a check. She said she can still tell he has feelings for her. She's seen him cry before and then turn around and do the same thing. Ken nicely suggests therapy for Marquez and says, look, I know it's gonna sound strange because I'm with her, but you can hit me at any time and you can trust me because I'm with your kids. And I do respect that about him. I really do. Trish, you a whole pimp. You giving me a Thornton from Potomac. But okay, Ken, I want you to do better. But you don't want better because you're in love with her. And that's all I got to say. Look, y'all, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, do the comments, and check out my Denzel Washington video, because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm still feeling that, and that stuff was on my heart, and I want y'all to leave that alone. Leave him alone, leave that family alone, okay? The Cosbys ain't real, and Bill Cosby don't give us nothing. I don't care. I love me some Denzel Washington, and y'all keep his name out your mouth in a negative way, okay? Shout out to Black Panther 3, because Black Panther 2 was horrible. But if we know anybody can fix a franchise, who is it? The greatest actor ever. The D to the E to the N to the Z to the E to the L. Okay, I gotta go enjoy my Saturday night. I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.